Hello and welcome to Respect the Crit. I'm your host and game master, Ian Duncan, and I am joined by some fellow humans. The first human is Jamie Lee-Bonés.
Hello, I am a human, and my name is Jamie, and today I will not be playing a human. I will be playing an Elo, the modified medical droid.
I believe you're human. I believe when you say that, I am a human, that's the most thing a human would say.
That's what I've heard humans say, so I thought it appropriate to say it.
And the other human, near and dear to all of us, Alex Herrera.
Hi, I'm Alex, and I'll be playing Beegax, the Doug Slicer, who's not a human, never has been human, never will be.
No.
Because humans are boring, because he gets to walk on his hands and still have two hands available.
That is all true about Beegax. I don't believe that Alex Herrera, the human, is an actual human. Not even close.
It's because you didn't say.
I respectfully decline to answer the question about my species.
Cool. Well, we're not going to be dealing with any humans today. We're going to be dealing with another H word, and that is huts. Oh. So, yeah, we're going to, as Beegax so eloquently put it, let's go kill a hut. Let's just jump right in. A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away.
Episode 29, All In. The cards are dealt, all bets are off, and the crew of the Way have made a plan to deal with not only their blackmail blues, but the criminal leaders on the dusty frontier of Socorro. Elo and Beegax once again head to the unfinished casino of Zalto the Hutt to enact the first step of their clever but dangerous ploy. Will they manage to play both sides and beat the house? Or will their numbers come up 86? The stakes and the aces have never been higher, and when the chips are down, the fringers may need to push their luck.
Our camera tilts down from a crimson sky and peers over the edge at the very top of the Hutt Casino. From this dizzying height above the black sands, metal and girders glint in the red heat, the exposed skeleton of this monolithic structure. Its empty rooms and unfinished supports covered by flapping tarps that whip wildly in the hot, swift wind at the zenith of this building. Below, the construction site is strewn with materials, pallets, machines, half-dug holes, and plotted sites for landscaping and luxuries. And a lone YT-2400 freighter, badly damaged and parked slightly slanted on the sands. We cut down to that ship, now staring up at the enormity of the casino's size. The amount of resources and credits that have gone into this project is worth 100 times the value of this busted-ass ship. Suddenly, the ship's cargo ramp deploys. Walking down the ramp and emerging into this deserted swelter is a dark-colored Doug and a modified medical droid.
So we're not expecting to talk to the hut. We are just expected to make this look like a scene, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So I picture sort of like as they're walking up to the casino, maybe they're chit-chatting about how to make it look dead. And Elo is going to casually mention as they're like walking through, as they're entering the casino, Elo's going to say, well, depending on what we have to work with is really going to determine how we make this look.
Yeah. I was thinking, explosive. That way the body is left in some sort of pile of organic goop. Easier to make something look like it's something else. But, we might have to damage our friend's very,
and he's gonna use air quotes,
beautifully decorated office.
Yes. We will have to make it look very convincing. It would be quite convenient if we were able to get some sort of witness.
Yeah. Maybe we get one of the guards to come with us. He didn't specify who was in on it. But maybe one of the ones upstairs. Could work out.
That may be.
And you, so do you want to take anyone with you on this? I know you needed Gur to record this.
Oh yeah, so I think I have to do a roll then.
Yeah,
Right.
I think it comes down to a roll, but what are you sort of like imparting on him? Let's say like right before you head out, you just have a conversation with Gur. He's like, "Well, I am going to take the ship and go get it repaired at the tower while the tower is still around. Also, I found this," and he tosses it at you guys, and it's just like a little device. And you can make me a mechanics roll if you would like. Either of you.
I'm good. What difficulty?
A mechanics roll or a computer's roll. Either one is fine. Yeah.
Even better. What difficulty?
The difficulty is average.
That's 2. Okie dokie. Oriole's watching my dice aggressively.
My toys!
Yeah.
Oh!
What?
God damn it, Alex.
I call it. Let me calculate this. 1 triumph, 1 success, 2 threats.
That's awesome. Yeah, well, it's a crit. We got to respect it.
Yes.
Kind of lame that it's just on what is this thing, though.
I know, but still, it's a triumph.
But it is a triumph. Excellent. You know that this thing is like a locator, like a tracker of some kind. It can't track you through light speed, but it can track you where you end up. It doesn't record, like it's not like a flight record like your ship would do, but it is able to like ping and like see where the location is of wherever this device is.
Bogus.
Well, looks like someone wanted to know where you are. If I'd wager a guess, it is the people that are trying to blackmail you.
The triumvirate. This actually could work out.
He'll look at it.
I could use this, so maybe we don't even have to go to their tower at all.
He'll like really think about it. I would like to use my triumph in this fashion, if you'll allow me, Ian.
Sure.
The triumvirate made a mistake of letting me, or of allowing us to find this device, which has a signal that goes back to somebody in their tower, or somewhere in their tower. Therefore, I believe I should be able to access their tower in some manner by reverse engineering this device with my new deck. What I want is to basically not have to risk one of the teams actually having to go to the location. They just have to stay in communication with the triumvirate for whatever allotted time is necessary for my program to run its course.
I think it's not as fun to not have not have the risk. So I'm gonna say no to that, but you are, because this thing is a location, like if you want to be able to reverse that so that you can
Can I let me
go ahead.
proposition you a different one.
Yeah.
We can't keep people out of it, but what I can do is I can grant them safe passage with this thing. So like once I know that they've done their conversation or some sort of signal is given, I can use one of my programs to do like a security override so that when they're trying to get out of there, no doors can be locked or something. Like it's just giving them a escape route.
I love that. Yeah, absolutely. You can get, it's sort of like a cheap like code cylinder. You can like rehack it so that it's actually transmitting codes out. Yeah, totally. That's very cool.
Yeah, that's what Beegax will take it, and he'll say,
I got an idea with this one.
and he'll take it to his little workspace in his room. And I assume he'll do that for however long it takes, because this is the day. This is the day of, isn't it?
Yeah, this is the next day, the evening after you've come back from Sajali Sa'i and had this meeting with everyone. So this is the very next day. Now, there isn't any pressure on you to do any, like, to start any of this right now on this day, and we can skip through time as needed. Mm-hmm. So if you want to take a day to do that, that's totally fine.
I don't think it would be a nice chunk of time for him to create this slicing program and embed it into this device, but That's what I'll waste the triumph on, and I would say that it takes the better part of a day, not like the whole day, but like so 3 to 4 hours.
Okay, to
get this done.
So there's this downtime in this morning. You meet with Gur, and he's also like, so what is it you need me to do, and how are we going to do this with your recording, and what information am I looking for?
All I need you to do,
and he pulls out his deck and he opens it up. The screen lifts up, the keyboard kind of comes out, there's the different panels.
All right, this is a very complicated rig. I'm sure you've used similar ones, so I need you to focus on this.
And he points to like the main screen.
There's going to be...
What am I looking at here?
It's off right now, so relax.
Oh, okay. That's why I can't read anything. I thought it was... Okay. No, please, continue.
Beegax doesn't break the stare. He just looks at him and moves one of his hands and flicks it on. And like stares at him while it turns on.
Oh, it's booting up. Yeah, I see the progress bar. Okay, yeah, very good.
You don't have to throw terms out. I understand you know what you're talking about.
Could you hear that? Oh, I'm sorry.
And he puts his hands up.
Just listen. It's very important you listen.
His ears focus on you.
All right. There's going to be some lines that come up. I need you to run flag if on. That's what you're typing. All you have to do is hit this button here, and once you do that, the program will do the rest of the work. Your main goal after that is to make sure that it doesn't turn off. If anything, other lines come up, you just retype that first line I said, which is...
I wasn't listening, I'm sorry.
I'm going to write it down.
And he types it on a data pad and like props it up so it's like a kickstand right next to it.
That is what you're running.
Okay, that is very helpful.
Nothing else at all.
Okay.
If you have any bright ideas, any moments of inspiration, don't.
Understood. That's it? Okay. Am I waiting for a signal or something, or how will I know when to start running these?
The second you see the screen show the camera display of me and Elo, and we have the mess of organic materials all over the floor. Yeah, exactly. Shouldn't be that hard.
Okay, and I can do this from the tower while the ship is being repaired, right? Because we're not going to make it far if this thing is in the state that it is.
I recommend you be on this ship.
Of course.
If you do it anywhere else, and someone else sees this screen, the jig's most likely up.
Okay. Shouldn't be hard.
It shouldn't.
I will remain unseen.
Good.
Just hit the enter button, right? Can you just make it so I just hit enter?
I'm not popping off my keys just so you don't have an issue with hitting one button. Listen, kid.
And he's assuming at this point that Gur is younger than him.
You're a spy. I assume you have some level of technical aptitude. Don't prove me wrong, please. This is the one time I'd like to have my faith restored in the civilized peoples of the galaxy.
There's a lot riding on this. Okay. Then prepare to have your faith restored.
Feeling great already.
And as he turns around, he just growls.
Excellent. Cool. So you're going to be like doing a record of this. Like there's maybe some like device that you have that's
most likely I'll just plug in my data pad because we're in the building. Yeah. We have access to everything. There's nothing stopping him, Beegax, from plugging into a jack in the wall.
Yeah.
For this spot.
And Ella's always technically recording because of her memory.
That is true. Yeah. So, you could totally run like a line back to the ship, to the deck. Yeah. Absolutely, you could.
Can I ask a quick mechanical question before I give out or spurt out an idea that may or may not possibly work?
Sure.
Okay. I don't know what sort of amalgamation of parts this hut has got together for us for the body of a hut.
Well, you're going to find out.
Okay. Maybe I will wait to find out the answer until after we find out. But if we were to push that out of the top story of this building and it falls onto the ground, would it splatter in an effect that would look like a hut?
That's what I wanted to do.
It sounds like y'all on the same page. So I will say, I mean, first of all, yes, that's totally possible. I don't know what roll that would be to get that to go perfectly, but we can figure that out when we get there. There is also a light side point to use to make
one
that
out of
happen.
no 1 out of 3 or whatever. No.
But yeah, that's totally possible, Jamie. So I guess we'll get there when we get there. But. Okay, cool. So Beegax is sort of putting together this program for Gur in the morning, and also like turning this this tracking device into sort of like a code cylinder or a code key kind of thing. Because you've managed to have a rest and a sleep, this is the next day. You can all gain one wound. You can regain one wound if you need to regain one wound, and you can regain all of your strain.
Yes.
Woohoo!
Cool, good,
Yep.
Awesome.
Sitting pretty at 9 health out of
Woohoo.
12.
Oh, that's not bad. That's not bad.
Yeah, I've been worse.
Yeah. And just to be clear, Elo, you do still have a critical injury on you.
Okay.
What does that look like? I don't know if we went into that. You got dazed, but what is there like? Is there a physical effect, or is it like an internal effect or something that?
How did it occur in the story?
You got shocked by some little remote droids that were floating around in Sajalisa E.
I'm trying to think of something that would be that would have like a longer lasting effect. Maybe there is now like a part of Elo's exterior where the interior is exposed, and so it's more worn by the elements, I suppose. So each day it's getting like a little worse and worse.
Oh.
Got it. Okay, yeah. There's sort of like, it's like, you know, when like metal sort of like has that like alkaline, I don't know if it's alkaline, but it gets sort of like that white sort of like crust on it from like oxidizing. Is that a thing?
I think that's what it's called.
Oxidizing. Yeah, but it's not like rust. It's like some kind of other chemical reaction going on. Okay, cool. Yeah, that sounds awesome. So, Elo, you've powered down for the evening to sort of like get this rest and do some internal repairs and all of that. When you power back up, we've mentioned before that sort of one of Elo's ways to sort of get through some of the anxiety or whatever it is they experience is to meticulously organize things on the ship. All these little artifacts that you've collected and like little tchotchkes that were maybe like Borsk's old things, even just like salt and pepper shakers in the kitchen, you know, everything is like meticulously organized in almost a creepy way, because Elo is like working through some of this stuff. Elo, when you wake up, you see, and where do you wake up?
With so many other people on the ship, Elo would probably retreat to the medical bay as their sort of comfort space. That's sort of their area anyway, and so they would keep their personal belongings there. The box of Borsk's old things is in there. And yeah, especially because a lot more of the ship's space has been taken up.
Got it. Okay, so you wake up in the medical bay, and when you power back on, your systems come online. They let you know you still have this critical injury. Check it. You see it's oxidizing here and kind of exposed internally. You notice that, like, we'll say, like on the table, like on the patient table or whatever, everything has been arranged on the table, and it is meticulous, but it is not, everything is not in their proper place. Instead, there's sort of like a geometric pattern that has been made out of all of the little instruments and utensils and little things here in this medical bay, that it's all sort of higgledy-piggledy, but they like all make up this shape, this like geometric shape. Instead of being meticulously organized into their own space, they are now being meticulously organized to create this sort of sigil.
Okay, and what does Elo recognize this form that all of these things are taking?
Do you recognize it? That is a good question. Yeah, well, how about this? Why don't you tell me what that geometric pattern is, and we'll go from there. Like what it looks like.
What it looks like. Oh. Okay. I want it to look like a D20 die.
Cool, so it's an icosahedron.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, so yeah, it's this geometric icosahedron made up of every sort of thing, of all this stuff. Very cool. Yeah, so yeah, you see that. I imagine Elo knows what an icosahedron looks like. So I think in the middle of the icosahedron is the datapad. The Borsk's datapad that's been unlocked. Yeah. So that's like, it's the shape is around that, and that's in the middle.
Elo's going to look around the room and see if anybody had been in, if maybe the doors... Well, I don't think the door would be open because it auto-closes and things, but if anybody's in the room with them...
No one is in the room with you. You can... let's see. I think there's actually... I was going to have you make a roll that isn't perception, because I think there's probably a different skill for this. Nope, it's perception.
Wonderful. I was so hopeful. What difficulty?
Please make me an average perception roll.
So that's 2 purple. 1 success, 2 threats.
It doesn't look like anyone's been in here other than Elo. And furthermore, like you recognize all this item placement. Like this looks like stuff that you've done. You know that this is something that you do. But it's just, normally it's like the things are in their place that they're supposed to be, you know, like the scalpels are on the tray and the bandages are in the cabinet, but now everything is like piled up together in still a meticulous way that you would have done, but in a shape that you probably normally wouldn't have, or in an order you normally wouldn't have.
I suppose then Elo is going to hesitantly begin to pick up these items and put them back to their place, and will take a moment with the data pad and maybe not put that away. Is going to leave that out on the counter almost as a reminder, like, okay, after this is all done, I need to look at this data pad and see what may be on here. But is then going to leave to go adjourn and go kill a Hutt.
Hello, fringers, spacers, my scum and villainy. Thank you for joining me here in hyperspace, with all the lines and the whooshing, taking a little breather as we travel the galaxy. Whoa, Ian, what are you doing showing up in the middle of the episode? I can hear you thinking that. Well, I just wanted to share some quick information about the small changes that we'll be making in the next year, like having a mid-roll for information and announcements. We'll continue to have the really important stuff up at the top of the show. This is just one of the little changes that we'll be implementing to make the show better in the coming year. And as of this episode, we've been doing this for a year. We're 1 year old. And oh my God, what a year it has been. Looking back, I can't believe that we launched a podcast in 2020. With a pandemic and stay-at-home orders and the stress and the important and ongoing fights for equality and justice in the US and around the world. But we managed to consistently put out a show on schedule all the time, every time. And I'll be honest with you, there were times when I didn't think we would have a show. There were times when I was too tired, too upset, or just too inundated to produce this podcast. But no, we kept on going and we kept on growing, and that is due in large part to you listeners. In just a year, we've been able to get 20,000 downloads of this show in countries around the world. I mean, everywhere. Honestly, sincerely, thank you. Many of you made it clear how much you love the show, the quality, the characters, and the storytelling in your reviews on social media. I've heard from lots of you, and I want to hear from more of you. So please keep sending us messages, keep talking about us on the socials, keep sending those reviews, because that's the best way to support us right now and to support the show and to keep us growing. And speaking of keeping us growing, there are some things that I've been working on for the next year. We're going to have a website. We're going to have more guests. We're going to be playing more games. We're going to have a Discord. And a lot of you have been asking me about this. So next year, we're going to set that up to have a dedicated Respect the Crit Discord and have a focused place for community. The show is going to keep coming out on schedule, and I want to see it get bigger. I want to see it get 20, 40, 60,000 downloads next year. I want to see us have more ratings and reviews and have a bigger presence out there, and we're going to need your help for that. So let's do it in 2021. Also, because at the time of this release, it's the real life holidays on Earth in our galaxy, not far away. And, you know, people's schedules get busy and it's harder to play. So we'll be taking a real short break from our Star Wars story, but that doesn't mean that we won't have a show, because we have something else special. A friend of the show graciously offered to guest GM a game for us that we recorded. It's a homebrew system for a story set in the universe of Final Fantasy VII. We are going to have our first new system and first guest GM on Respect the Crit in the beginning of January. This is something I've always wanted for the show, and it's going to be our very first starting in 2021. We had so much fun recording those sessions, and it's a really great story with lots of heart, plenty of goofs, and of course, huge swords, humongous swords. So if you like Final Fantasy and anime and all that, you're gonna really like this. And our guest GM, I'm gonna keep them secret for now, they just did an incredible job. And the three of us, Jamie and Alex and I, we just went crazy and had so much fun. So we'll have the first episode of our very first guest GM'd Final Fantasy game at the beginning of January, and then we'll be right back with Beegax and Elo and their adventures a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. One last thing, and I swear this is the last thing. I know you're screaming at me and you're hitting the skip button and you're just like, just get me back to the show. But hey, come on, this is important. So just chill and listen. This is the last thing, I swear. At the time of this recording, there is still time in the Georgia U.S. Senate runoff election to support the campaigns of Raphael Warnock and John Ossoff. You can also donate to groups battling voter suppression in Georgia, like Fight Fair, founded by Stacey Abrams, and Act Blue, helping to flip those runoff seats for a Democratic majority in the Senate for 2021. Links to all of those can be found in the show notes. So again, thank you for listening. Thank you for your support. Now, let's drop out of hyperspace and get back to the show. There is a screen wipe from the medical bay to the outside of the casino. We see Elo and Beegax make their way towards the front as the way itself in its disrepair takes off away from the landing area of the casino and makes its way to Socorro Tower. Now, I am gonna flip a dark side point, and there are again like the sort of like armored guardsmen. It seems to be like either today is a day off, or the workers that you usually have seen around here have been told not to come, but no one else is around today working on this building. You do see like a land transport, and it wasn't here before, but it's just hanging out around the machinery and stuff as you like walk by these guards. One of them catches you, just like puts a hand out, like hold up, and then says, "The boss is waiting for you upstairs. Go on."
Thanks.
And then they'll nervously look at Elo as they walk past this guy and say, "What?
I thought he wasn't gonna be here."
So yeah, you walk through this palatial area. Again, there's like living creatures in the floor, like moving through water on this beautiful glass that goes up to this, leads up to this elevator. You take the elevator up to the top floor, and waiting for you is Zalto the Hutt with one of his armed men, and it's hard to tell, but it's likely the one that was there before, and he greets you. Gotta get Zalto for a sec. Hold on. Yeah.
Pull him out.
Yeah, he's like the southern. Okay, there we go. Yep. Yeah, now I'm embodying the Hutt. I feel him flowing through me.
Beegax, hello. It is so good to see you. I am so excited for the artistry and the shenanigans that you have planned. I do hope it is going to be an exciting one. I am at your disposal. What do you need from me in order to make this convincing?
Well,
And he looks around.
I need organic material, as promised.
Yes, we had a bit of trouble getting all of the organic material that you require, and I am a man of considerable size, so we did need quite a bit. When we went out to the location that you had mentioned, there was nothing but sand. You know, Socorro likes to wipe clean all of its wounds. It's kind of the thing about deserts. But that doesn't mean that we weren't able to acquire some organic, so
and he makes a gesture with his hands to like come through, and an elevator whooping comes up, and a bunch of people come out of the elevator. They are all dressed like workers and Socorrans, and they are being pushed into the room by several of the armed guards, and they do not look happy. They look very scared, but they are all led into the office, and the Hutt sort of just like gestures with his big hand. He reaches. He's like pouring some gross smelling liquid again. And he gestures at the group, and he's like,
"So, how many do you need? What would suffice?"
Let's just push him out the window, Alex. Let's
Beegax,
just push him.
Beegax is making the same face I made when that whole description was happening, where Beegax looks at the workers, and he gets flashbacks of the Doug on Malastare. Beegax slowly looks from the crowd, moves past, like his eyes catch Elo's little visor for a second. And I think they know already what's going to happen. And he glances over at the Hutt, and he has his head tilted, and his mouth goes from that like fake smile to just like a frown. And he says,
I don't think I need any of them.
And one of his limbs is moving forward like he's going to say something, and the other one quickly pulls up the gun out of the holster out. And I'm going to try and quick draw and shoot him.
"Oh, cool.
Oh,
okay,
fuck.
All
cool.
right, and range light, yeah?
Shit.
Yeah, range light.
Okay, hopefully this is going to be good. Please, God. I need to get a crit on this disruptor pistol shot.
Use it. Use the
I mean, we have
point.
4. We have 2 now. Yeah, we have 2 now.
God damn it. He's gonna leave us in suspense, huh?
1 triumph, 1 success.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
You see it?
Oh my god! We gotta respect that crit! Oh, there is no better time. There is literally no better
We
time.
needed this so bad.
This was the time to get it.
Let's resolve it mechanically. What's the damage first? We'll do mechanically.
Okay, so damage is 10
Plus how many successes?
1 additional.
Oh, he's so soaked. He's got so much soak.
He's a big boy.
Yeah, he a very big boy. But damage does go through, so your crit goes off. One of the target's limbs is crippled until healed or replaced, so all of his checks are increased.
Thank God.
Describe what it looks like when you shoot one of this Hutt's arms. He is holding like a glass of like goo juice.
It's Jesus juice.
Yeah.
So he's aiming for like the shoulder where the cup in the hand, the arm that's holding the cup. So when he hits it, and it's a disruptor pistol, so it gets like that fizzle, that weird green energy. His chalice that he's holding in his hand just flings out of his hand and just hits the ground. It's like almost like a symbolic gesture. The cup hits the ground. Whatever's in there splashes onto the carpet that's in that little seating area. I imagine the Nikto or have that face, or sorry, they're not Nikto, they're the Weequay. They have that face where they're just like concerned, and then Beegax just growls the loudest growl he can. He says, "Hello, shoot him!" Just like in slow motion.
The Hutt screams in pain, and it pops off. There are screams from the group of crowd here. They start to panic and begin to like push back towards the elevator, and the Weequay standing by the Hutt pulls up his blaster rifle, swings it up around him. Let's roll some initiative.
Sorry, Jamie.
It's okay. I was thinking the same thing. I was like, I'm not about to kill a bunch of people.
Workers? Like,
Right.
oh, no.
Bruce would be so pissed.
Yep. Well, now the Hutt's really gonna die. Or we're really gonna die.
Mm-hmm. We should have brought everybody.
And yeah, this was the one part of the mission where we didn't think there was gonna be any violence.
Mm-hmm.
What'd y'all roll?
3 success for me.
3 success.
I was 2 success, 1 advantage.
Oh, this may actually be okay. Yeah, this actually turned out really good for you. So it's gonna go. They go after you. It'll be PC, and then the Hutt, and then there are. So, let me paint the scene here. You're up at the top of the casino in the office. You've been here before. I believe we've established there's sort of like a sitting pit, like the floor, like there's sort of like a circular couch that is lowered into the floor with a table. So there's like niceties and cool stuff all around, like expensive looking stuff. There's like a bowl of those gross frogs that Hutts eat, and like a hookah. Obviously there's a balcony, and there's windows, it's sort of like the office is like a semicircle of windows that face out to the city. That the Hutt is, we'll say he's in the sitting area, like in that lowered sitting area. He has one of the Weequay, one of his guard Weequay next to him. Then you are sort of like standing between him and this group of workers, and then behind the workers there are 3 more armed Weequay.
3 is more than 2.
Yeah. So all in all, there are 4 Weequay and the Hutt, and then like a bunch of people here. I'm just gonna roll a percentage die and say there are 20 people in this room.
Whoa.
Yeah, so it's a crowd. It's like there's like a crowd in this office now. Yeah, so you pull out your disintegrator pistol, and it is a PC slot.
Okay, Elo is going to immediately fire upon this Hutt, and I want to push him out this window so bad.
Make it happen, Elo.
I feel like you foreshadowed it with that glass dropping to the floor and splashing all over.
Well, that's true. And the first time we came here, there was the guy got pushed out the window or through the vent, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead and make me that roll.
Okay. 1 success.
Yeah.
1 success. Excellent. So that is your disruptor pistol, correct? Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's another 11 damage. Oh, but his soak is so beefy. You like whip out your pistol. What is Elo doing in all of this?
I sort of picture when Beegax pulls out his weapon with his sleight of hand sort of gesture and fires. Elo from behind him is going to pull out their disruptor pistol and fire at the other arm that Beegax didn't hit, and hopefully get him in the shoulder there. And we'll yell out to the people, "I would maybe find cover if I were you."
Okay, so this Hutt is gonna roar, and he's like,
You're going back on our deal? Do you know who I am? I'm Zalto the Hutt.
and he is gonna he's gonna spend his turn worming his way out of this pit towards the desk. So towards the desk, closer to the windows, and he is going to pull out a blaster from the desk and gesture to everything wildly.
Kill them! All of them!
Oh no.
And that's what he's gonna do. Then the Weequay are gonna start shooting and take a shot at you.
Which you?
Beegax first. Yeah, I was just getting to that. Short range. Y'all got any armor? I know I ask this every time, but these are energy weapons.
Okay, good. Then my soak goes from a 4 to a 5.
Okay. 3 success, 2 advantage. So that's gonna be 8 damage.
So I take 3.
The one that was standing by him is gonna position himself in front of the hut, and I think he's still sort of in that sunken sitting area, and then the other Weequay are sort of fighting this crowd a little bit, trying to get through them as they break away, and then it is to a PC slot.
I get shot by one of them or all of them?
Well, technically it's all of them. This is a minion group, so they're technically all attacking at once.
Gotcha.
But
okay,
I think story-wise, it's this one that is right in front of you and can shoot you.
And the other two are it just for story's sake. I envision the other 3 are being pushed against by the crowd who's trying to get on the elevator. So that's I envision that, but I understand mechanically they are acting as a unit. That's why they can roll so much and deal 8 goddamn damage.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah.
So Beegax gets shot, I'm assuming from the one that's in front of him, and just Griff! And he again, as earlier, when he saw the innocent civilians, you can hear his heart pumping and the blood going through his body, and his face, he's filling with this rage that he doesn't normally get filled with. But I'm gonna chalk it up to biological ancestry of the Dougs just kicking in, and he's gonna move. I'm gonna flip a light side point.
Okay, so flipping a light side point, we're back to 3 dark side, 1 light side.
And I'm going to move. I'm sorry, Jamie, I should have conferred with you if it's okay to spend it, but
Always okay.
he's at the window. I have to do it. I'm going to move up to the desk where they're both the Weequay and the Hutt are, and I'm gonna use a forceful push with my bottom 2 limbs to push the desk back and push them out the window using the desk as a battering ram kind of.
Cool. Roll me an athletics check to do this. We're gonna.
I'm not that bad.
Yeah, you're pretty athletic. Dougs are pretty
Yeah.
athletic, if I remember. I think this is a hard check because this is a big, beefy boy.
So that's 3 purple, yeah?
3 purple, and you can upgrade one. That's what you spent the light side point.
You got this.
My luck came up twice today. I don't know if it's gonna. Oh!
Oh my god, no fucking way.
No way.
No.
Are you
Oh
joking me?
my god. This is so. Yes.
Look at all those threats, though. That's the most threats I think I've ever gotten before.
Okay, so what's the final count?
So final count: 3 threats, 1 success, 1 triumph total. That's 3 in a row.
That's crazy.
I can't roll anymore for the rest of my life. I'm not gonna get anything better than that.
You're tapping out. Retirement.
I mean, that's a crit, and we gotta respect that crit.
Wow. How sudden.
Also, before this started popping off, I want to say that after I shot the first shot and I got fired back the second time, and I'm like, I I used the button or like some sort of remote device on my equipment to like turn on my system back on the ship, like so that way Gur knows, hey, it's happening.
It's popping off. Okay.
But I want to envision it like Gur from his point of view. He's like, hey, this is not right. Like, this is not what's supposed to happen.
Yeah. So Beegax hits this thing. We cut over to Gur, and he's like getting an eye's view of what's going on. Yeah, and he's just like quizzical look on his face, but he hits the button and it goes to record, and we are recording. Beegax, how do you knock this hut out the window?
So he puts. I have my gun in my one of my hands still, and I'm using my hands to run. And he's just growling, and his vision is filled with rage. He hears it. All he hears is his heartbeat and the blood pumping through his body. He hears Elo like calling out, like, "Take cover! I would take cover if I were you!" And the people screaming, but it's muffled by the sound of his own breath and rage as he leaps and uses his whole body, not just his feet in this instance, his whole body to slam against the desk. And it just shifts weight so far back. It like screeches across that floor. I envision it, I think it's like some sort of marble type material, so it's very smooth. The hut, being the beefy boy that he is, causes the window to break.
Wait, can we say, like, I think that happens and you push it up against him and his mass slams into it and it begins to just spider crack and crack and crack, and he's like reaching, he's like clawing at the desk, and he's like looking at you, Beegax, just like frothing at the mouth, and he's like,
"You'll never get out of this system alive, boy. You've just marked yourself for a very horrendous death."
You first. And he just pushes the desk.
Yeah.
the window explodes, and yeah, you just push all your force, and this hut, just screaming, goes tumbling down from the top of the casino, glass raining down like glittering snow, and this enormous desk following after. We like follow the hut at like on his face as the ground is like speeding up behind him, and just before he hits it, we like cut out real wide to up to the casino, and we just see like a speck, and then like a bigger speck like the desk, just, and there's like a puff of smoke.
Oh.
Yes.
Zalto the Hutt has been hoisted by his own petard and knocked out of his very own casino. All right, it is to a PC slot.
The only real action that I see here is to... Well, was one of his minions with him behind the desk? So the only ones left are by the elevator?
That's what I said.
Yeah.
And the people are in the way, so...
Yeah, and there are still 4 Weequay currently. And now we have Beegax at the window, standing. Wind is now like busting in, sand sort of like tearing to shreds the nicety of this whole office. And there's a Weequay that's still standing there, and then at the seating area, and then we have Elo, and then the whole crowd and everything behind you at the elevator.
Elo is going to say to this Weequay, "Put your weapons down or you're next, big boy."
They killed the boss. Don't let them leave.
Maybe one of us could be the boss.
Yeah, maybe one of us could be the boss.
No.
Alright then, I gave you a shot. I'll give you another, and Elo's gonna fire.
Excellent. Oh, the quips. I love them.
Oh, the quips.
Yeah, please give me a 1 difficulty roll.
1 6. Ooh, I got one!
Oh, you got it. Oh my god. Oh my
1
god.
success, 3 advantage, and 1 triumph.
Okay.
Wow.
Excellent. Oh man.
That's a roll. 3 advantage?
Yeah.
You love to see it. I don't know what force. You don't need the wills of the force on your side right now. You've got some kind of crazy luck. So first of all, with minions, I think we've had this come up before. With a triumph, that instantly kills, insta-kill a minion.
Dope.
But that damage also carries over into the next. So you've got 11 damage going through. I want to say for story purposes that because there's this crowd, or you're shooting at the weak way in the sitting area. Mm-hmm. So tell us what it looks like when you obliterate this weak way.
I kind of want it to be a bit nonchalant, where Elo offered this guy an out, he said no, and so as they're walking past him, is just gonna blast him right in the temple.
Oh, so you're like walking, you're just like
I'm
striding
walking
up.
over to Beegax.
Oh, that's cool. Okay, very cool. Yeah, so you just like straight up like pop this guy as you're like walking over to Beegax.
Well, there's plenty of witnesses, Beegax.
I want to do something here. We haven't had this come up either, but there's an effect in the Star Wars system called fear. And it can be inflicted when something terrible happens, like a droid strides through the room unstoppable and pops a dude with a pistol. I'm gonna have the rest of these minions roll for fear.
Plan, obviously, it's off the rails already at this point.
Yeah.
It's like, why do we even make a plan?
Right?
Why even make a plan?
Okay, so it is a discipline check, and I think they aren't outnumbered in combat, but that move was super badass. So it's gonna be an easy difficulty, but that's still hella cool. They do not have discipline. That's 2 failures. I think what happens is they see Elo do this. They've seen the Hutt get kicked out a window, and the rest of them, and they're getting like pushed back with the crowd. So the rest of the weequay, they're just like piling into the elevator and piling, like they're just kind of like going with it. They're like, oh, we gotta get out. There's now like this crowded elevator like filled with people, and the doors begin to close. And some of the workers are left out. They're like banging on the door, like, hello, let us in. We'll say one of the weequay guards is out there too, still like, oh, no, let me in. And Beegax and Elo standing in this once palatial office. Now things have been knocked over. The wind is blowing black sand of Socorro all into this place through this huge break in the window. And our camera just like pulls out on the two of you, like standing out at the top of this immense building in the sands at the edge of Achaia.
I picture sort of Beegax like looking out the window, looking down at this hut. And I picture the angle sort of looking up at them, and as Elo saunters over to Beegax, is going to say, well, we killed a hut.
Yeah.
And you hear him like swallow hard, and he gets his communicator, the little white communicator, standard issue from Star Wars movies.
Grr. You're gonna have to bring the ship up here. To Zalto's office.
And he waits for a response.
Yeah, okay, I guess the repairs can wait. We got all of that. Is that how it was supposed to go down?
No, it wasn't.
Why do we even make a plan?
Yeah, he looks at Elo.
It makes other people feel better, I guess.
And then he'll look at the crowd of people and he'll message Gur back.
Also make some room in the cargo bay. We're gonna have some people we need to take home.
Aye.
I think he just looks down at Zalto. He's just staring down at this dead hut.
Yeah. I think it's just as Jamie described. We go out on this sort of like looking up at the two of you, looking down through this crack in the window, and that is where we will end our episode. Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Respect the Crit, Empire's Edge. If you like what you heard, please consider supporting us by giving us a 5-star rating and review on iTunes. It's a simple thing that will really help us grow the show, and we love to read your feedback. For more information about the show, visit @RespectTheCrit on Twitter and Instagram. Beegax is played by Alex Herrera, who you can find on Twitter @AEHerrera or on his Twitch channel, WadeWolf10. Elo is played by Jamie Lee-Bonés, who you can find on Instagram @jamielee.bones. I'm Ian Duncan, your GM and MC, and you can find me @idunks on Twitter and Instagram. The original music featured in the show is provided with permissions by a variety of artists and are linked in the show notes. Please support them by visiting their platforms to check out more of their work and tell them how much you like the show. The Star Wars role-playing system and books are published by Fantasy Flight Games. And remember, whatever the system, whether it's a miss or a hit, you always gotta respect the crit. Thank you very much, and may the Force be with you. All right, let's do a sync.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
Were my levels good last time?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's spike in my recording. The clap is just like...
Yeah. You don't want to be hitting the red too much.
Checking my levels.
That's just how I live my life.
This is really loud. I need to bring it down.
Just hitting red all the time, you know?
Hitting red, everybody.
That's spiking.
Yeah, okay, that's good.
That's spiking.
Sounds awesome.
That's spiking.
That's a good level.
That's spiking. That's spike in my recording.
The bang.
The bang.
Woo! Yeah. Let's do a sync.
10, 9,
Hitting red, everybody.
8,
Is that better?
7,
That's better.
6,
Were my levels good last time?
5,
That's a good level.
4,
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
bang,
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Yeah.
bang,
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Yeah.
bang, bang.
Oh my god!
Okay, I think we got it.